everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well today. So today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all my top 10 purchases from Ulta in the year 2021. So I did do a similar video comparing or talking about my top 10 products from Sephora. So if you are interested in that, definitely check out that video. I will have it linked down below in my description box. I forgot to mention in that video that this video was definitely inspired by Emily's makeup bag here on YouTube. I love her channel. I think that she has really great content. I love a lot of the videos that she posts, and so she inspired me to do this type of video. She did both Sephora and Ulta over on her channel, so I will also have her channel linked below. So if you want to check out, where I got my original inspo from, definitely check out Emily's makeup bag. But I have 10 products to share with you all today and talk about from Ulta, so let's go ahead and get started. So firstly, one of the products that I purchased that's non-makeup related is the Ariana Grande Cloud Perfume. This perfume, I love this perfume so much. I have this size it's just the 1 fluid ounce size, and I don't have like the cloud that it came with anymore. And I think I probably just got rid of it, but I just love this perfume so much. It's definitely more of a like fresh, clean kind of scent. I don't understand why people describe this as a gourmand scent. I guess it does have a marshmallow note, but I don't get that at all, ever. Like, I don't know how, I mean, maybe a little bit, but this just smells so good. And one of the things that I love about this perfume so much is that it smells good all day long. Like, I will smell this on my body, right, all day long. I mean, yesterday was a prime example. I wore this to work, and literally at the end of the day, I still smelt my perfume. Like, it was crazy. And so I am just so happy that I purchased this. This is easily a product that made the list. I didn't even think twice about it, and so this is definitely something that I'm very happy that I did purchase from Ulta this year. Another product is the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape Concealer. I actually originally tried out this concealer through the Tarte's website because they were having like a friends and family sale or something like that, and I went ahead and just purchased like a mini from the website, and I loved it so much that I ended up getting it from Ulta in my correct shade. So I pick up the shade 22N Light Neutral. And I talked about this a lot on my channel this year just because I love it so much. I still probably prefer my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer to this one, especially since that one is so much more affordable, but I still think this is a good one. I know that the original Shape Tape gets a lot of hate on YouTube, and I agree. I do think it is pretty drying, and it settles into fine lines and all of that, but I think that this concealer is worth checking out, especially if the original Tarte Shape Tape didn't work out for you. I think that the Ultra Creamy one is really good. So I'm really glad that I was able to pick this up this year from Ulta, technically Tarte's website, and test it out and fall in love with it. So really happy with that purchase. Another product that has completely blew me away and completely just continues to impress me each time that I wear it is the Physicians Formula Butter Believe It Foundation. I believe this is actually one of the favorites that Emily mentioned as well, and she is pretty much the one that made me want to purchase this. Her and Jessica Braun both, mainly Emily because she used it so much more often on her channel. But this foundation, you guys, it is completely bulletproof. This is my foundation that I wear for a lot of different events. And I will say I do wish that the shade range was better. Physicians Formula is absolutely terrible at having a really good shade range. They've always been really bad at that. And so I wish, because this formula is so good, I wish that they would expand the shade range. I do have the shade Fair to Light, and it works very well for me. This foundation is just stunning on the skin. It's very full coverage, but not to the point where it feels like you're wearing a mask. One of my biggest tips with this foundation, if you are experiencing cakiness, is to go in with layers. And what I mean by that is apply the layer, your initial layer. I use a beauty sponge. I love the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. I always use beauty sponges. I never ever apply foundation with a brush. That's just my personal preference. What I mean by layers is you apply that initial layer, right, of the foundation, and then once it's kind of semi-dry to dry, then I go in and build up coverage that way. That way it's not caking up. I'm not putting on so much of a layer, like a thick layer at once, so that it's not drying ugly on my skin, if that makes sense. And doing it that way has really made me fall in love with this foundation. I feel like at first I wasn't allowing myself to go in with those layers. I was just putting on too much at first application, and it made me not like this foundation. But because I figured out that I need to go in with layers, it really helped me. And I think I need to thank Daisy Cash for that, because I feel like she mentioned that. And ever since then, I have been just head over heels for this one. I wore this for my graduation. I believe, oh, I wore this when I took like grad photos, and it's beautiful. I love that one. Then I have a few blushes to mention. Let me start with the bronzer though, because I only have one bronzer, and my top favorite bronzer, and honestly, there's not something in every category. These are just the top favorite products from Ulta that I purchased this year that I wanted to mention. So I purchased the Bare Minerals Loose Bronzer in the shade Faux Tan this year. Love this bronzer so much. Here is kind of more or less what the shade looks like. This is a stunning bronzer. I honestly miss wearing this so much. It's just, it doesn't seem very fitting to wear it in the fall and winter because it's a little bit more of a like shimmery bronzer. I hate saying shimmery because I don't want you to think it has glitter. It's just, it's more of a radiant bronzer. And I feel like that's more appropriate for like spring and summer. So definitely when spring and summer comes around again, I'm definitely going to be pulling this in because I love this one. It is so beautiful on the skin. What I love to use is kind of like a stippling brush, something that's going to help me just kind of diffuse the product a lot more a lot easier, I don't know. And that really helps without getting too carried away or putting too much on one area of my face. But I am just so in love with this product. I'm really glad that I picked it up this year. And honestly, I want to say it's only $20 something, which isn't too bad for a loose product, because with loose products, loose powder products, I should say, you don't need a whole lot. Most of the time they're very pigmented, and so there's something that you can kind of build up, and you don't need a lot in order to get the desired pigmentation and opacity that you're looking for. So I thought it was a pretty reasonable price for this bronzer, and it's just it's stunning. I cannot wait to use it again. Now let's get into the two blushes that I was talking about. So the first one is a cream blush, and this I want to say a lot of the cream blushes I purchased this year were kind of like from Sephora or like from Target or Walmart, but this cream blush I did pick up from Ulta, and it's the Undone Lip to Cheek palette in the shade Rosewood. So I do have Sarah Rose and Juicy Jazz to thank for this purchase. I am just so impressed with this blush, so impressed with it. I'm actually going to be filming shortly after this a video about makeup I wish I purchased sooner, and this cream blush I'm going to mention in that video because I am so impressed with how this cream blush performs. Something to note, I don't really use this product in that way, but the way that these are made is that there's actually, I don't know if you can tell, but there's actually like 3 different layers. The top layer is supposed to be the most sheer amount of coverage or pigment. The medium layer is for a moderate amount of pigment, and then the final layer is supposed to be the most opaque. So obviously the most amount of pigment. I don't use it that way. I just dab my brush in here and then just apply it onto my cheeks, and I'm happy with the amount of pigment that it gets. The formula kind of reminds me a little bit of the Tower 28 blushes because they are pretty balmy, but they do dry down better than the Tower 28. I am just in love with this, and it lasts really, really well throughout the day too. So I actually ended up picking up another shade because I was just in love with that formula so much. Then this was a blush that, wow, I cannot imagine if I did not pick this up, I would still be living under a rock. These are just the Revlon powder blushes. And I specifically have the shade Apricot. I actually have 2 more, so I have 3 total. But this shade started the entire love affair with me and these blushes from Revlon. I love this blush formula so much, and especially love the shade Apricot. If I could recommend one, it would definitely be this one. This blush formula is so silky, it's so smooth, it's so soft, it's so pigmented. It literally feels like it's a high-end blush. It's amazing. It is so amazing how Revlon could create such a great blush formula. I cannot recommend these blushes enough. I love the pigmentation. I love the shades that they have too. They have some beautiful shades within their line, and because of this one blush, that has really pushed me to want to try more, not only, you know, different shades of this blush, but just more from the brand in general. So I am so impressed with these blushes. Then I have two eyeshadow palettes, and I did want to say, just like I did in the Sephora video, my ultimate favorite top products that I purchased in 2021, I am saving to the end. So if you can figure out what it is, if you can guess it, I would love to know if you were right. But I have 2 eyeshadow palettes to mention that were my top favorite purchases from Ulta this year. The first one has to be my Wet n Wild Nude Awakening Color Icon Tin Pan eyeshadow palette. How long is that title? But here's what this palette looks like. Mine looks kind of beat up, but it's only because I kind of have to scrape some of the top layer a little bit with some of these shadows to really get them to pop on the eyes. I love this eyeshadow palette. I haven't used it in a while. I seriously need to pull it out and wear it again because I just think that this color story is very high end. I think the eyeshadow formula is very good. I don't think I would compare it to a high-end eyeshadow formula. However, I do think it can hold its own. I mean, seriously, it could probably compete with ColourPop as far as quality. And I'm confused why so many people dislike these palettes because I am so impressed with this one, especially the Nude Awakening color. I love this palette, and I'm just so impressed with this one. And they are so affordable. I think this was only like $5. It's amazing. The other eyeshadow palette, I'm honestly kind of shocked that it made the top list, but something about this palette, when I wear it, I feel so like girly and feminine and just beautiful when I wear this one. And that is the Juvia's Place, the Blushed Rose palette. So it's just 6 shades, and this released within the summer, like around May or June. And first off, this shade right here is absolutely stunning. I love this pink shade right here. It is so impactful on the lids, and that's kind of like a shade that I would love to just kind of throw in one of these pinky colors and then throw that shade all over the lid, and it would kind of be like a one and done shadow look. But again, kind of back to what I was saying earlier, is it looks like it's nothing special, and it's not even a color story that I wear a lot. I like pinks, but I much prefer purples on my eyes especially. But something about this palette, every time that I wear it, especially when I wear this shade, I feel so beautiful and feminine and girly, and I love that look, right? I also wanted to mention the blush duo that also came in this line, but I do love the palette more. And for instance, I wanted to mention like the Revlon blushes. But yeah, I love this. I think it's such a cute little palette, and I want to say it's only like $14, maybe a little bit more, but I think it's cute. I really do. All right, then we have one lipstick, and this could easily be tied for my ultimate top favorite because I love it so much. And it's really just a lipstick in general. This isn't the lip color, this isn't the exact lipstick that started it all for me. It was actually one that I purchased from Target. It's the same brand, same, formula, all of that, but I purchased my original shade from Target. But the Revlon Super Lustrous lipsticks, you guys, I have been sleeping under a rock. Like, I cannot get over how long it took me to try these freaking lipsticks because they are amazing. They are so good. They are literally a high-end lipstick. Like, we are getting a steal with these lipsticks because they could be charging so much more than they are. And I think the fact that they are considered like an older lipstick, because they've been around for a very long time, which is why I was saying I was living under a rock, but they are such a beautiful formula. And back to what I was saying about them being around for a long time, I feel like it's the newer makeup from the drugstore that's being a little bit pricier. But I feel like the older makeup that's been around for a while remains to kind of be that, you know, good drugstore price tag. These lipsticks are definitely under $6. And the shade Bare Affair is a stunning, stunning nude color. Love, love, love this lipstick. I reached for this lipstick so often whenever I purchased this because it's almost like my lips but better, and I always wanted to, like, a nude like that within my collection, and I swear this is it. And it's pretty neutral. Let me just swatch it because I'm speaking so highly about it. It's it leans kind of more pink, but it's definitely still a nude. So I love this. I love this formula. It is so comfortable. It is so luxe. I love it. So I cannot sing the praises of those freaking lipsticks enough. Now for my ultimate favorite top whatever product from Ulta this year. I am so in love with this product. I use it every single time I do my eyeshadow. You probably already know what I'm going to talk about. And if you already knew before I even started talking right now, like, kudos to you. You probably watch a lot of my videos, but it is the NYX glitter primer. This is so good. And this is something that I cannot see not being in my collection. Like, I think I will always have this within my collection, and it's always going to be something that I gravitate towards, that I want, because it really does help with adhering your shimmer shades to your lids, making them pop, making them last longer throughout the day. Well, I don't know about that, but it really does help with making them pop. And even like with glitter, for instance, with just any type of foil shades or metallic shades, or for instance, like I love like my Pat McGrath Utopian Dream palette, but her special shade within that palette can get a little bit, you know, chunky a little bit, and it can kind of have some fallout. This really, really helps with that. So this is so affordable. It's like $6 and it is so effective at what it does. It's amazing. And Sarah Rose, I was watching one of her videos and she mentioned that this might be getting discontinued. And I'm like, why would you do this to us? Like, how could you? This is such an amazing product. So I'm gonna, like, if it is in fact getting discontinued, I will probably buy backups because I do not want to be without this. So yeah, I love this. This is my top favorite, absolute ultimate favorite product that I purchased from Ulta this year. And honestly, it's one of my favorites that I purchased in the entire year, like out of everything I've bought. Or purchased. So those are the 10 products that I purchased from Ulta that I consider my top 10 that I purchased this year from Ulta. And I am just so in love with some of these products, and I hope that you may try them out and maybe you'll fall in love with them. That would make me so happy if you purchase something based off of my recommendation and you know, fell in love with it. That would make me so happy. But comment what your top 10 favorite products from Ulta are this year that you have purchased, or just top 10 that you've purchased from 2021 in general. I would love to hear from you guys. But if you did enjoy, please give this video a thumbs up. Also, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my YouTube channel family here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye!